Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts. Please be sure to listen to our important message following this episode regarding the risks of investing in exchange-traded options.
Another question John had was if I exited that FXY. Yeah, I actually had an order on the books going into that 108. So it actually triggered that day on that exhaustion gap. What I like to do is if I have these larger time frame support and resistance levels on things like position trades, I will usually keep orders on the books because I never know for sure if I'm going to be here or not. And so it's just kind of a good way to help protect myself. Sometimes I miss out, the thing will just keep going right through it, and that can be frustrating, but that usually happens only if the momentum has started to increase to a point where I think that it has a good chance of pushing through it. In this case, I did not expect such a large gap that day on that exhaustion gap, so I had expected that the momentum would not have been as steep as it ended up being. So if I'd probably seen that, I might have held on to my position a little bit of it just to look for a larger target on a weekly or monthly chart. But, it ended up being good because it obviously fell off of the exhaustion gap. But I think that it might still have potential. So I probably will look for it to get back into it on like a swing trade again. Any other questions?
Tony, did you see Dave's question? I know that's a very wide open question. What's going to happen next?
Oh, which one was that?
I'm looking at the chat section. Dave just says, what's going to happen next? I mean, I guess it always depends on what your position is now on what you're thinking about next, right? I mean, it's hard to really come up with such a generic question or an open-ended question like that. Dave's just looking for your view of the U.S. dollar, I guess, in general.
Oh, well, why don't you come to my presentation next week? That's the topic. But
great, yeah.
What's that?
No, that's a great point. Great point. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, in Vegas next week, I'll be doing a presentation for ISE live that deals with the U.S. dollar and projections on it. I was actually long the dollar. That's another one that I've kind of been scaling out of over the last week or so. So we're going to look at different patterns on how to recognize reversals and continuation patterns with that type of thing. Right now, though, because of the extension, I'm looking for an increase in chop. So it might be a little bit of time before I begin to position myself in it as strongly again. It's the same idea with that FXY where because of the momentum extension, it's very difficult for that to continue without some sort of corrective type of move. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the chat portion. Sorry, guys. I was looking at the question portion.
But Tony will be in Vegas, so for any of you that are planning on or you live close to Vegas, the Traders Expo, please join us. Obviously, Tony has tremendous knowledge regarding technicals and all the different markets. So just come to the Traders Expo and you can listen to Tony talk about the U.S. dollar.
Yeah, I'm actually speaking Thursday afternoon for ISE, and then I have another presentation at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday as well.
So there, you'll be able to listen to Toni twice during that 4-day period, and I'd highly recommend it. She's obviously, you just listened to the last hour, which is great, and even more entertaining in person because sometimes, this is great because we're all sitting here at our computer, love it, but the live one, if you can, maybe even better. But, again, if you can get to Vegas, you're close by, please check it out. Do you see any others, Toni?
There's a question on tails and whether or not I use tails on my charts, and definitely, price is legitimately traded at those tails. I know a lot of people ignore them, But the only time I really ignore tails are in the middle of congestion moves, so things like within bear and bull flags or within sideways trading ranges. Then I pay more attention to what's going on in the actual body of that congestion or that correction as opposed to as much emphasis on the tails. But when I'm looking at reversal patterns and support and resistance levels, then the tails are still very important, and I definitely would not recommend ignoring them. I'm just scrolling through here. Okay, defining a momentum shift. Momentum, what I mean by momentum is pace of a move. So you're looking at how does a move compare to its previous action? How long does it take to get from a high to a low compared to how long it takes to get back to it? So it's just the back and forth swings. You guys still hear me?
Yep. No.
Okay.
Perfectly clearly.
Having some phone trouble here today, so you never know.
No, you're perfectly clear. We heard you break up a little bit about 10 minutes ago, but no, you're fine.
All right, good. So yeah, they are recording this, so if you'd like to review it, then certainly go to their website. Again, let me pull up their link. Over here at the end. So you can go to ise.com/archives, and there are dozens of webinars there to choose from. So you can definitely learn a lot by just checking out that link. And again, the link for my CD course is swingtrader.net. I'm going to go ahead and turn this back over to Steve. If you guys have any other questions at all, again, please feel free to email me. You can go to any one of my websites and also click on the contact button, and that will also fill in an email automatically too.
Toni, thank you so much on behalf of the International Securities Exchange.
You're welcome.
With myself, Meisinger. You did a wonderful job. You made something that, to me, seems so complex when I read books about Fibonacci, and you made it seem so simple. So I hope everyone has a little, at least there's a little bit of a takeaway here. But please, for $279, you may want to think about this. It seems like a pretty good deal. Go and check it out. You can see Toni's the URL right there, www.swingtrader.net. You can learn a lot. She gave you an hour today, but there's a lot more there. Trading Made Simple series. Please check it out. And Toni, thanks again on behalf of the International Securities Exchange and Steve, the host, Steve Meisinger. I really appreciate it.
I'd also like to add one more thing. There is a whole section in that course that does cover Fibonacci as well. So.
Wow, that's great.
More information
that is great.
there too.
Toni, I'm looking forward to seeing you in Vegas. That's going to be great.
You too. Well,
thank you so much.
Go. Thank you guys
Have a safe trading day, everyone, and thanks again. Please join us again on Sunday where we have Ilian Yosef coming on, and I think the time has actually changed to 9 o'clock Eastern, but please check the website. I believe it says 7:30, but I think it should be 9. We have a Sunday, next Sunday night. But thank you so much on the behalf of the ISE, the International Securities Exchange. This is Steve Meisinger saying good night and have a safe trading day tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.